All right, moving away from the conversation on kidnapping, let's talk politics now. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and his running mate, Senator Kashim Shettima, on Saturday left Nigeria for London on what many say is to strategize ahead of the presidential campaign, which kicks off tomorrow, Wednesday, the 28th of September 2022. According to the Director of Media and Publicity for Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, the APC will hold a prayer session tomorrow across all APC branches nationwide and subsequently kick off their campaign on the 8th of October.
Meanwhile, a Tinubu support group called the City Boy Movement, in collaboration with the National Coalition Group, said that they have planned to embark on a 1 million man march, solidarity march, to launch the APC campaign. Now, it's themed 1 million man march for Tinubu Shettima presidency, a walk for good governance. The march is slated for the 28th of September. Now, some say it seems the APC is taking a leaf from the Labour Party's 1 million man march, which has been gathering momentum across the federation since its inception. Now, joining us this morning is political and public affairs analyst and executive director, Lead Network Africa, Chukwuma Okenwa. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, let's start with the series of meetings held in London ahead of 2023. Is there anything spectacular about the London soil that makes meetings more convenient over there?
Yeah, of course, like we know that the Great Britain colonized Nigeria, and for those nations that were colonized by them, they still have like a common platform, which is the Commonwealth. But beyond that, we know that most of our politicians have their files, health files deposited in one a London hospital or the other. And beyond that, there has been that speculations and visibly some evidence to reveal that the UK still play a very major role in influencing the emergence of leaders in our country, because whether we like it or not, like for instance, when you talk about the oil companies operating in Nigeria, about 22 of them, they are largely owned by the UK and of course the US. So anything that affects like Nigeria dynamics and probably that will bring about like renegotiation in any time in future that will affect their interest as a matter of foreign policy, they will do everything to ensure that that doesn't happen.
All right. Now, I mean, many would argue that a lot of this is being funded by taxpayers' money. But let's move away from that. Tinubu's trip to London coincided with that of the River State Governor Nyesom Wike, who also traveled to London on Friday. Is there any possibility that something is brewing between these two camps?
Well, there is a possibility because it's almost very clear now that Wike has fallen apart with his platform, with the PDP. And it's obvious that the two options before him now could either be the APC, which is most likely, and of course the Labour Party. And of course, political pundits have judged that the only thing that has actually kept Wike up till now in the PDP would be to deliver his successor, who just claimed the PDP candidacy for Rivers. That aside from that, he would have moved long ago, but I'm sure like as a political guru, he's probably looking at like APC and Labour and wondering which one is going to advance my political cause, and like what is the normal thing within a Nigeria political trajectory to consider maybe a party that is in power, a party that allegedly have all of the structures, maybe before you consider like some newcomers like Labour Party, even though it's gathering much momentum that at this very moment in Nigeria, it cannot be neglected. It's almost clear now that there is visibly an emergence of the third force.
Well, that has continued to build. I remember when it started, they were described as, irrelevant. Adams Shobale also mentioned that there are just 4 people in the room tweeting, but that seems to have changed over time. And the conversations around the Labour Party and the Obedient Movement is very different from what it was a few months ago. But now let's talk about something that they're also known for, and that is rallies. The APC seems to be doing similar. The 1 million man march by the Labour Party had been generating loads of buzz across the federation, and now the APC support group is planning one for Tinubu and Shettima. What's your take on this?
Well, I think there is nothing wrong in borrowing a leaf from a successful template. We've seen how successful the mobilization under that auspices of 1 million march has worked for the Labour Party. And I do want to also say, like politically, like before now, maybe like gathering for rallies and numbers, and mobilizing, like different mobilization template for political groups has been like a norm within political space. But one of the things that actually make this very unique, the one of the Peter Dati, Obi Dati movement, has been the fact that it's on autopilot, right? I mean, you are not even talking about like something mobilized by a support group. So this one looks a little bit like political, maybe a support group being funded. You are talking about Nigerian-driven movement, Nigerians getting to the street to say, see, we are mobilizing ourselves, we are the structure, and that still makes a whole lot of difference from what APC is set to do. But at the same time, we watch to see what they come up with. But I want to say that it is not a bad idea, entirely bad. I mean, it's not wrong at all to copy a model you've seen that works. It's all about competition.
All right, Chukwuma Kenwa, we'll see how it goes. Of course, if that rally does still hold, we'll be here to discuss it and hopefully bring you back to talk about it. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.